Okay, so how do you mold what you want? You can pick anything, and your motivations for picking it can be ridiculous. They can be wrong. They can be immoral, but whatever. And you can pick it and you can say, I want blank. And number one, see if you get a signal. And then if you do, keep saying it and find out if you keep getting a signal on it. Or if at some point you evolve it into something else. And when you evolve your prayers, and your prayers start with I want, not talking about any other kind of praying but this. Okay? This is the topic of conversation. You know, I have a friend who just won't do this. You know, and she teaches a little class in her building, and she's, you know, people love her. You know, she's so sweet. And, you know, they get a lot out of it. She does yoga, she does Qigong. Now she was telling me she's doing Qigong and so on. And she does a little of this, you know, a little praying. And but she doesn't tell anybody they're praying because she doesn't want any flack, you know. So she doesn't tell them anything about praying or God, you know. She just stays away from that. And so she says, I am happy instead of I want to be happy. You know, she says, I am happy. And people get a lot out of it. It's an affirmation, you know. People get a lot out of saying affirmations, and they know what it is. She doesn't get any questions, you know. It's been around for, you know, since the 70s. And the people she teaches are mostly very old, so, you know, that makes sense to them. And it's cutting edge to them, you know. Affirmations. Remember Leonard Orr? You're too young. You don't remember him. But anyway, so she says these things, and then she talks to me and she says, and that works. And she doesn't have them test, you know, because they wouldn't understand why they need to test. Because if you don't know you're connecting to God, there really isn't any reason to test. Why would you test, you know? It has to be somebody, you know, a higher force answering your question through your finger for it to have any value at all. So if you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing. And so, you know, this is very hard to get across to people, and I'm recommending that you don't try. Don't bother. You know, and don't ruin your friendships over it, you know. Don't push it, you know, just, you know, if you have somebody, I mean, I may not be getting this across to you. You may already be modifying it, you know, like trying to figure out how to get around half the things I'm saying, you know. I mean, everybody people think that what they want is to be the brightest bulb on the strand. And it just isn't true. Most people don't want that. You probably don't want that. You know, and if you were to, and I don't know if there's any reason to be even or reason to want it. So if you start praying for, I want to be the brightest bulb on the strand, you know, God, you may reincarnate as a light bulb. Try not to have that happen, you know. Anyway, but this is how you mold yourself in God's image, and you mold what you want in the image of right and truth and justice and clarity and freedom and love, caring, devotion, excellence, power. And also, the people who work with me, like the woman I was talking about, I meet with her about once a week, and in a little meeting, a little huddle we have, and she's got a lot of power. So, and you say, well, what she's doing must be working. Yeah, what I'm doing must be working, because my goal is to empower people. So, I want to empower you. That's why I'm telling you this. That's why I'm making this movie, because I want to empower you. And the fact is, you may become very powerful and not use 10%, except sometimes, in some moment, you may use all your power, or a lot of it, 80% of it, or 70%. Like, that's probably what happened when people were curing things on the phone with us. They were using, see, God cures you, but he can't do a thing with you unless you're powerful, or loving, or clear, or just, or loyal, or caring, or brave, courageous, unstoppable. God can't help you unless you become who you can be. Then God can work with you. How do I know this? Just from experience, my own personal experience, mostly, of all the blind alleys and stupid things I've done in my life. I want to express my love today. I want to learn today. I want to enjoy this day. See, these are things I always get a signal on. If I'm angry at somebody, I'm probably not even going to get to the point of saying a prayer like, I want to do grievous harm to some. That'll probably, but if I did do that, I probably wouldn't get a signal on it. It'd bring me up short pretty quick, Like, God doesn't, isn't going to join with me in my desire to harm somebody. We're all God's creatures. Even the Antichrist, whoever that is, or was. I want to start, I want to stop, I want to reject, I want to accept. I want to make the boat go faster. And this is the way we mold not only our wants and desires, but our being. And we can change ourselves at the level of being. We can change our being, which is virtually impossible for most people to change. But we can do it, and we do it through prayer.